According to XRP price expert Jake Claver, we are about to see XRP make an insane, godly rally to over $100, if not over $1,000 very, very soon, potentially in the coming months, which would be nuts. Now, I'm not sure how credible or realistic this is, considering XRP is currently valued at $2.24, up roughly 0.15% on the daily time frame. Seeing XRP make a 50 to 500x rally in the next coming months, even in the next coming year, sounds quite far-fetched. But as we can see in this article, this has everything to do with the institutional adoption XRP will see following the tsunami of spot XRP ETF filings that are being approved right now. Right now, multiple major issuers are listed on the DTCC, the derivatives market, as having spot XRP ETF filings in an active and pre-launch status, which is big, and one analyst report estimates a 95% chance of approvals by mid-November, which is right now. And in case you've not been paying attention, that came to fruition. Canary Capital Wall Street has officially launched the first US spot XRP ETF, XRPC. Canary Capital clients bought $245 million worth of XRP. As Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse puts it, it is finally happening. It has finally happened. XRP is about to explode. So much more ETF filings are going to come through. This is just the beginning. And Terek puts it here as well. That's very, very true, considering XRP surpassed Solana very, very comfortably to become the biggest ETF launch of this year. Going back to the article here, from this vantage, the infrastructure appears ready for the next stage, and the market is beginning to price that in. So according to Jake Claver, what he said here is allegedly all ETF filings, if they were to launch together at the same time, which, in a similar time frame, which there are countless more coming in the next couple of days and weeks, XRP will go to 3 to 4 digits. So anything above $100 to $1,000, again, that's a 50 to 500x from its current price target, or current price where it's at right now. Claver's thesis goes beyond ETFs alone, though. That's the main reason, but not the only reason. It also has the frameworks into question. The ETF launches are just one of a domino effect along several cascading forces, like the risk to global debt, which is faltering right now. The stablecoin stress, thanks to RUSD, also adding to that. Market deleveraging. We saw October 10th, the biggest deleveraging event in history. The institutional exit, leaving Bitcoin to get something more liquid. XRP allegedly is the best positioned for this seismic beneficiary to scoop up all this institutional adoption. We know blockchain right now is taking over the financial system, and there's a need for a safe haven asset in this space. The dollar and fiat can't do it anymore. We know that anymore. We know that much. Bitcoin isn't scalable enough to be used for transactions, so it can't be Bitcoin either. We need something more liquid. We need XRP. And as Bitwise CEO, in a way, he confirms and reaffirms Jake's belief here that XRP should reach over $100 very, very soon in this interview. As he stated, a spot XRP ETF would be huge, a huge product that taps into the $100 trillion TradFi market. Take a listen.
There's a ton of interest in XRP. My colleague Matt Hogan, our CIO, likes to say that the death of an ETF is apathy. And apathy is certainly not one of the elements of XRP. There's a lot of energy and interest and enthusiasm. So I think, there's $100+ trillion that live on traditional rails. And more of that is migrating on chain. But nevertheless, there's $100 trillion there. An ETF is often the first time that much of those assets can tap into exposure to an asset. And I think if they have the opportunity to have exposure to and trade XRP, it'll be a very useful and high demand product.
That's big, but that's not all. Not to mention JP Morgan themselves as well. They also stated that up to $8 billion of inflows is likely to come into XRP ETFs in just the first year. With only $3 to $5 billion $3 to $5 billion XRP available on exchanges right now, That's not a lot, considering how much that actually the total supply is, which means we'll definitely end up seeing a supply shock, pushing prices far beyond this current level. Again, XRP currently valued at $2.25. XRP will go up so much higher from here, jumping leaps and bounds. If you saw the last video on my channel, you would have heard the interview with Mike Novogratz, where he confirmed the price of an asset is made in the derivatives market, the DTCC. So the value of XRP ETFs published on the DTCC market, the derivatives market, is how high XRP will end up being in the near future. And if you look right here, XRP ETF was launched at a price of $26.40. So XRP should soon enough catch back up to that price target. The reason why XRP hasn't skyrocketed in value just yet is because the net inflows of Canary Capital's XRP ETF will be handed over to purchase the asset. So in short, there's $245 million that we saw bought up from the clients of Canary Capital to get XRP. The money from that sale of the XRP ETF shares is given to Canary Capital, who then use that capital to purchase more XRP crypto on the market. This is also how XRP starts to gradually increase in price as time goes on. ETFs are about to start going on a buying spree that will not stop once they start, and depending on how quickly the capital enters, as unknown DLT puts it here, he believes XRP could realistically reach $20 to $100 very, very soon, which again, we saw XRP is already valued at 26, so the spot market should catch up to the derivatives market very, very soon. So that is a very, very big deal as limited supply meets strong institutional demand. A minimum of a 2-digit XRP is possible this year. But once again, if Jake here is correct in a 3-4-digit XRP based on ETF filings and all the other factors here as well, if JP Morgan is correct about the significant amount of adoption we'll see coming into XRP, as well as Bitwise also saying the very similar thing. And with also Mike Novogratz, if he's right about the market being made in the derivatives market, then XRP reaching 3 to 4 digit is much more realistic than people give it credit for. One thing for sure though, XRP and crypto is about to go on a tear. It cannot remain this cheap forever, and a quarterly reversal rally is knocking at the door. To find out more though, stay more locked in, stay ahead of the game, come check out the VIP here, wop.com/coinfactory. You have other documentation, educational sources, trade alerts, and much more for free. 7-day free trials as well. Check it out down below. Links down below in the description. And as always, remember, don't look short term, think long term. And I'll see you in the next one.